Hey guys, this is John.
And this is Charles.
From Our Tiny Cabin Project. So we did a thing. We decided we wanted to go on adventures, so we purchased an awesome pop-up camper. It's the Jayco 1990 806 Deluxe. And I kind of just wanted to get some video of what it looks like pre-restore and show you guys some of the process.
Now, this is a 30-year-old trailer, and you know, some people might be apprehensive about buying a pop-up that old. The canvas is in pretty decent shape for the age, but even if I needed to replace the canvas, Jayco still makes it, and it's about $1,000 to replace the canvas. We only paid about $1,000 for the camper altogether. The most important thing about it, though, is the fact is there's almost no rust on the frame, and the wood underneath the flooring underneath the trailer is also solid and not soft. So, and the crank system is new. John will show you what some of those things look like.
So while he's cleaning, we've got the front of the camper with the little door, and then we've got power hookup, some of the lights on it that we're not sure if they work yet. The tires on it are gonna need to be replaced, and that's the first thing that we're gonna do probably today or tomorrow is buy 2 new matching tires. You can get them pretty cheap, under $100 for both of them.
Well, right about $100. It's pretty close. They're about $50 a tire.
Got the back of the camper, and the previous owner put on some magnetic Harbor Freight lights because he didn't want to hook the regular lights up to his truck and get an extension. We're kind of debating right now on whether getting new Harbor Freight lights or trying to hook up all the lights on it. Eventually we will hook up all the lights. As you can see, he had it sitting for like 2 years, so it's got a lot of that green algae on it and a lot of dirt, and that's all going to be coming off. On the back, you've got the connection for power. This lifts up, this cord comes out, and you can hook it right into your house or your power source if you're at an RV park or a campground with electricity. This is your city water hookup. You can hook it right to a water source. And this is where the gray water dispenses from the sink inside of the cabin. On the front, it looks like a standard size barbecue
propane tank.
Thank you. Looks like a standard size barbecue propane tank, and that propane powers the stove for sure. It's still under debate whether the refrigerator inside is some form of electric or if it hooks up to the propane. We will find that out later in the video. You've got this guy which flips down, and you can spin him up or down to level the RV. And then this guy also cranks up and down, makes it easy to move and hook up to your car. And as you guys will see in a couple minutes, this is the crank which lifts the top of the camper up or down, and it works in perfect order, and you guys will see that in just a minute here. Just wanted to get a little video of it dirty before Charles gets it all cleaned up and certified.
Now, we do plan on painting. Look at Thundercluck. What do you think you're doing? Yes, you forgot. Get down. Get down. Yes, down. Down. Sneaky bird. Ornery little chicken.
Now,
but yeah, we do plan on painting this, perhaps. Because the idea is we're going to use it for some fun. Also for maybe getting people to come out to the cabin, to the tiny house to visit us. Because a lot of people are afraid to camp because there's so many bears in Missouri now. So this will give them a little more sense of a security, not that, you know, a 350-pound black bear couldn't tear through this in 2.5 seconds, but it is what it is. So we'll paint it up, and then the idea is we get it a little fixed up from what we got it from, and then maybe sell it for a little bit more than what we paid for it, and then upgrade to a bigger camper or a nicer camper or just something more modern. I really want one of those A-liners. I'm just not sure that John can stand in one.
All right, guys. Well, let's get moving on and stay tuned for the next little bit of the inside of the camper. Okay, guys, I'm going to pop her up and then we'll take a tour of the inside and see what she looks like now. Goes into a hole that's in the actual body of the trailer, and the bent end goes in this hook. You have to kind of push up on the bed and get in.
The way you said bent end was kind of like the way people say button.
It's very important.
Oh God, when people say important like that, it drives me freaking crazy. While John's doing that, I'm going to take you guys over here and show you a restore that I've been working on before I started, or before we picked up the camper. Not that I need, you know, another restore. Oh my God, we're so close! Not that I need another restore package, or not that I need another restore project. Wow, I just woke up.
Coffee.
So, as many of you know, a couple years ago, before we moved here, I sold our kayaks and bought a canoe. As I'm getting older, it's a lot harder to load 2 boats than it is to load 1 boat. So I bought this canoe. She's an 18-foot Osagon. You might not have heard of the brand, but it's made here in Missouri. And the reason why I bought it is because I was familiar with this boat, not this specific one, but these are the boats that were rented out at the Merrimack Caverns. So I knew how well they were made and how they float. Give you an idea, look at this. This aluminum is so firm on this and thick that you can't even push it in with your hands, whereas the newer aluminum boats flex like a damn pop can. So it was all kind of this gunmetal oxidization color. I decided that I wanted to get the boat to a mirror finish, so I've been polishing the boat to get it to that point. So as you can see, it's starting to take shape, and I'm hoping that once I get it done, that when I'm out on the water, it'll be pretty impressive. I can put up to a 5 horsepower engine on it. We've got an electric trolling motor that pushes the boat pretty well. And then John bought me for Christmas last year, and I haven't set it up yet, a Hankai 3.5 horsepower engine. And you know, I'm hoping to have the boat finished and numbers on it by the end of summer. If you guys have never seen flowers on lettuce before, this is what romaine lettuce looks like when it's flowering. Isn't that pretty? Look at that. And then our birds are over here being mother cluckers. And John's taking a break from working on the trailer. So I should probably give him a hand. And the cool thing about it is this thing was totally filthy dirty when we bought it, and then when we got it home and started cleaning it up, it was like unbelievable how clean it is for being a friggin' 30-year-old camper. Okay, I mean the canvas for the most part is in immaculate shape. There's a couple small little tears that need to be patched, but only like 2. And she's a big camper. How big is it, John? I forget.
Opened up from end to end is 16 feet 2 inches, and I'm not sure of the width.
I'm gonna say it's probably
6.5 feet. 6 feet, 6.5 feet. I'm 6 feet tall, so that's probably 6.5 feet. Those are my exact measurements.
He's taller than 6 foot, people. A lot. He can barely fit on the bed. Like, more than likely when we camp out, unless Giggity is about to go down.
Oh my god, giggity.
Giggity. We'll have to sleep on alternate beds because John will have to lay catty corner to be comfortable on this bed.
Actually, I can lay sprawled out on the couch comfortably, which is nice.
So what we're gonna do today is we are going to change out this ugly linoleum. We're not going to take it out, we're just going to ply right over it. We're not going to take any of the furniture out because
it's too much work.
That's a lot of work. You start getting into projects like that with this old of a recreational vehicle, and you run into some serious problems because shit could break. There could be a weak spot or a soft spot somewhere you didn't know. However, I noticed when on the title that the title was a salvage title, but so I think that the guy I bought this off of, the guy that had it before him, probably bought it from a junkyard and restored it, or fixed it up a little bit, because it's pretty amazing that shape that a lot of the bits of this camper are in.
Like the cushions for the couches and the mattresses, according to what I can find online, these are the original fabrics and they're in amazing shape. And as much as I don't always like the fiber board wood paper furniture, this is actually light enough grain and in good enough shape where it looks really nice, but we're still debating on whether or not we're going to paint those.
Now, our refrigerator is not a refrigerator, it is just an ice box. And that literally is in the sense of the word, like it's a cooler.
So this big bucket is for your ice, and it's got a hole in it and a tube that runs down to the bottom, so you just fill it with ice, maybe put a couple ice packs in there, and it keeps everything cold. We'll have to test and see if a 1990 icebox is efficient as a Yeti.
I think it'll work pretty well though, and it seals up really good, so the gasket's fine. It should work pretty well. But like, that's fine for us, because even when we're down at the tiny house, we don't typically take we don't have a fridge at the tiny house. We use a Ozark Trail cooler, and that holds ice for 7 days, and we're never at the cabin more than 3 or 4, so I imagine it's going to be pretty much the same for this, except for we are going to use this to kind of travel a little bit. And in fact, we're going to try to use this to get out to see some of you guys. You know, we were supposed to go see Larry at Lawson Woods. He's no longer at the micro tiny house. He now has a full-size though. So, but we were going to go out to Washington State and see him, and now
we can do that.
Now we can do that, and we also could go out to the Vermont area and see Derek Diedrichson at one of his tiny house conventions or summer camps. There's some water damage right there on the canvas, but not too bad. But overall...
And I imagine people at like a tiny house convention would get a kick out of a restored, refurbished 30-year-old camper.
And I know it's been a minute since we brought you a video, but things have been kind of crazy around here, you know, with work and everything, and all the pandemic stuff going on, and etc, etc, etc. Anyway, and I had gotten sick for a minute, and we weren't making any videos when I was sick. I didn't have corona, but I still wasn't feeling good nonetheless. But anyway, we did get some work done on the camper. We had some areas with some minor roof rot, and it was traditionally where the brackets or clamps are to hold the lid down, the roof down. So we got up in there, and we did find quite a bit of roof rot. We are not really wanting to deal with that right now, and we can probably have it with the canvas we have right now about another 3 years left in the canvas. So we talked about it, and we decided to patch her up to get her through the 3 to 5 years that we have left on this canvas. And at that point in time, when we're ready to order new canvas, what we'll do is then we'll tear the roof off and completely rebuild the roof. But for right now, what we did is we got these steel plates and we sandwiched them on each side and dug out the wood that was rotted and filled it with liquid nails, and then bolted it all together, and then we'll bolt the clamps to this steel plate. That should really aid in the structural integrity of the camper. Right now what we're doing is we're rolling on some rubber roof sealer. We siliconed all the seams and all around everything. You would think you would do that before, you would think you would do that after you paint, but there's a method to my madness. Well, as you can see, I got 2 coats of the Henry on. Get it nice and sealed up. And that'll fix any pinholes that are in the aluminum roof from hail damage or whatever. So I guess in a couple days I'll get her painted. So make sure you hit subscribe.
Using some 70% alcohol to cut out the grease on the floor from furniture polish we were using. And this way it'd wipe up any grease and make it a more stickable surface for the linoleum that we're going to be putting down on the floor. Alrighty, do you guys want to see what we've done so far? Let's take a look. Alright guys, so as you probably noticed, the biggest thing that we've done so far is put the new floor in. Get rid of those old stained yellow floors. Looks a million times better, I think. Didn't really do any fancy measuring or anything. I just went piece by piece, cutting the shape as I went. Another thing that we did was we cleaned out the jars. They had that really ugly contact paper in it. And we put in that new contact paper I showed you earlier. It's actually just, it lays in there. It's not a contact paper, it's a vinyl non-slip sheet. And got our little organizers in a jar for spoons, forks, and knives. Got our little organization going on in there. Charles has started, not finished, but has started using a mildew and stain remover on the inside canvas. This was like black and just one use and it's already come that clean. So he's going all throughout the interior and is going to clean all the canvas with that mildew remover. Got the windows open now, letting the camper, I keep calling it a cabin, go figure, or a tiny cabin project. I've got all the windows open and the door open right now, letting the camper air out and cool off for the next project. So after talking last night and getting inspired by the dinner plate, we've decided to go ahead and paint all of the cabinets and all of the linoleum faux wood press-on stuff that was made in here. So all that wood grain on the back walls, around the couches, the kitchen area, including the fridge, and all of that, we're gonna paint it kind of a light green, almost an off sage green. I'm about to head out to Home Depot and pick up a gallon of paint right now. And what I'll figure I'll do is I'll start section by section, and I'll use a light grain sandpaper, not to sand off the linoleum, but just to put some grit into it, and then wipe it down with alcohol to create a surface that the paint can stick to. And we're gonna go ahead and start painting inside of here. So I just need to pick up some paint. I think we have paintbrushes and a roller. I am gonna use some painter's tape just to line the edges on some of this stuff I don't trust myself with, and then some drop cloth to protect the brand new floor that was just laid down. So I'm gonna do that and we'll see how that goes.
Alright guys, there's been some changes. We had to change a couple things we were doing with the camper. So we got the floor in and we got some painting done. We're getting ready to do some patching. I'm gonna go ahead and hand you over to John and he can show you guys exactly what it is that we changed.
Alright guys, so the last you saw was that green, and it was pretty horrible and it was matte and like chalkboard paint. So we decided to get some primer and go with a different color. Let's take a look. So, as you see, we have primed away all of that 1990s wood panel linoleum. Alright guys, so this is just the primer, and the reason it's not white is because we picked this really pretty golden yellow color.
I think it's more of a mustard. Wiener Schnitzel.
So as you said, it's more of a mustard because it's more manly. I think it's a golden sunshine yellow color. And the reason she said is because the yellow in that paint is so thin that it doesn't even show up on white. And they had to tint the primer to get that yellow to pop. But she's all primed and we're ready to move on to the next part.
Let me take you over here and show you the paint that we picked out. So this here is the paint that we're going to use. We decided to go with an exterior paint. I know that's pretty close, isn't it? We decided to go with an exterior paint for durability, as well as semi-gloss, because it just has more durability, you know, especially considering in a camper it's going to be getting kicked around and boots and stuff and subject to crazy temperatures, because we live here in Missouri where it can literally be 90 one day and then like 23 the next, and we've had, you know, 100 degree temperature swings before, so I'm not exaggerating. It can happen like that. The one thing we noticed that was kind of interesting, the primer is the same color as the painting of the house. Crazy! So we got that color, and then John went and bought this stuff. And these are iron-on fabric patches. And I used some mildew. That doesn't sound very good, does it? Some mildew stain remover. And we got this little bitty iron to put the patches on. Prior to that, though, I took some mildew stain remover because there was some pretty bad water damage right up in here, and you can still kind of see some of it. The canvas is not rotted, but I wanted to get a lot of that as much of that mildew out as I could. And then over here, there's a couple of little pinholes where the canvas is kind of right at that mildew. I mean, overall, for being 30 years old, the canvas is in pretty good shape. Is it perfect? No, but the body of the camper is in pretty good shape. And I looked online at Jayco, and if we want to get new canvas, it's going to be about $1,000 for the canvas. So, you know, $1,000 for the trailer and $1,000 for the new canvas. Whenever we get around to it, when this one's totally chewed, after this is fixed up, we might decide to do that, or we might sell it as is. We might get the fabric and then sell it for $2,500. I don't know yet. I haven't made up my mind. We'll see how many years we can get out of this. I do like the idea that it is so old and vintage, and that we're fixing it up. I know someday I would like to rehab and fix up an old Apache tent trailer. I just think those are super cool. But this is a great place to start. So we're gonna paint next, patch the hole, and go from there. Alright guys, we're gonna go ahead and pop in here. Get it? Pop in and take a look and see what John's doing. He's doing something in there. What are you doing?
Hey, I'm actually going in and cleaning up around all the fixtures, and that was painted yellow and I got the original thing back.
Oh, you decided to keep it that color?
Bronze.
I think it looks better, yeah. Oh yeah, I didn't even realize that.
Yeah. And then earlier I did this guy. I got him back brown. He was completely yellow. So I just been cleaning up all the trims and edges and everything.
This is what it looks like with the tape cut off. Doesn't it look so much better? That ugly wood paneling is all gone bye-bye. It looks so much better.
Alright guys, I will show you some of the patchwork that we did on the canvas. It didn't need too much. Alright, so here me and Charles just did some iron-on patches. There was a pretty significant hole in there, so we ironed this on and put a patch right on the other side the same.
Yeah, so both sides of the camper are patched.
If we can find it.
Right there.
We did a little patch down there, if you guys can see that.
So, and then there's a couple old patches that were not done by us that we're probably going to buy some iron-on patches and take out their patchwork and put our own, just because this is what they did. Here, let me show you guys. Doesn't that just look like crap? So, it's all gluey and crusty. So we're going to try some iron-on patches over that so it just doesn't... Because, I mean, if you're going to have patches, I mean, at least keep them looking clean and nice. So we're planning on doing that. I did not get much of anything done today because I pulled a muscle in my neck and I wasn't feeling well. Oh, another thing we did. The guy we bought the camper from, the guy who originally had it, that he bought it from, where this all comes together, he had it velcroed with press and peel velcro, and it kept coming undone. Well, we bought new velcro and we were like, well, instead of having it try to stretch to be on the back, let's put the velcro on the side. Well, we were running into the same problem that he was. Whereas you pull the velcro, oh shit, look at that, that's some crap. So what we're in the process of doing is, let me show you this, guys, this is pretty fun. how we fixed this. This was pretty innovative, I think. Oh, bend to the neck. All right. So, what we did is we bolted the Velcro on, so it doesn't come off every single time we take this on and off to stow the top away. And then John sewed the Velcro to the canvas, so we don't have to worry about this coming undone now when we go to put it away every single time we pop her or put her away. Is it the most ideal fix solution? No. It's better than it was, that's for sure. So, John, oh, he put a new light bulb inside the camper. It gets pretty hot, and I don't think it's quite the right light bulb, but it works. I think we're going to probably eventually rip that out and put an LED in. It's actually pretty bright. I'm excited to see what it looks like at night.
I think it's all we'll need, honestly.
Huh?
I think it's all we'll need. Instead
Yeah.
of running those lanterns.
We'll probably bring the lanterns in as a case of a backup, maybe. I got these really cool lanterns that are also bug zappers, as you can see it over there.
It's not melting.
Well, that's good.
And I can hold my hand on it. It's hot, but it doesn't, like, it doesn't burn me.
That's good.
So,
And cool enough temperatures, it'll probably heat the damn camper.
might.
And yeah, I'm sure you guys can also see these window dressings that we're not really talking about. And we're not really going to talk about it right now because that's for another video. That's coming down the road. Y'all gonna have to wait and see how John made these curtains. We did find these really awesome pillows that match. You guys got to admit, for being 30 years old, this is starting to look pretty dang nice, man.
This is not the bed decor. I've been a little obsessed with the camper, so last night I slept in it.
Yeah, he was a 12-year-old on his way home from the store with a toy, and told not to open his toy in the car because he'll lose the pieces. But what does he do anyway? He opens the toy in the car. Y'all know what I'm talking about. But anyway, so eventually there's going to be 2 more curtains, or 4 more actually. 2 on that side to close the bed up, and 2 on this side to close this bed up. They go up in those tracks. I've also got some things coming to where we can make our own awning, because there's a track right up here for an awning. Slides in there. So I'm gonna make an awning because I'm not paying $300 for an awning. That's like almost half of what we paid for the camper. It's ridiculous. Then some other future projects that are coming. All these crusty decals are gonna come off. Also replace all the lights with LEDs. New wheels are coming. I'm going to paint the trailer frame so that we can get as much life out of it as possible. And then I'm going to also paint the underneath of the wood. So then that way, if the underneath is painted just as we travel and are at campgrounds and whatnot, and if it rains, etc., to protect it from the elements of, and just try to get a few more years out of it. Because, you know, if I can get 5 to 7 years out of this camper, I'm gonna be pretty happy, considering a brand new pop-up camper is like $10,000. Well, if you can find a good used pop-up camper, these are the things you want to look for. Does the crank system work? Does the bottom side of the wood look rotted out? And is there rust on the trailer frame? And when I mean rust, I'm talking about like, not is it just slightly reddish and aged. I'm talking about is it got like flaking rust and it's eating through. If the frame is good and the wood is good and the pulley systems work, everything else can be fixed cheaply. Look at how nice this looks already. And outside of this door, outside of what we've paid for the camper, we are only about, with the floor, the paint, the tape, the tools, and everything we've done so far, the patches, the waterproofing, that's the other thing we did. We waterproofed the outside. You guys see us waterproof the inside. We were waiting till the painting was done to do that. But we're gonna waterproof in here next. And I don't even think we're $200 into it. What do you think?
I think a gallon of paint was $25, the whole floor was $30, and $6 a can of waterproofing.
About $100 in the fabric for the curtains.
Yeah, I was gonna say the curtains and the pillows were the most expensive so far, but yeah, like maybe 150 bucks in.
Yeah. And with the curtains closed, oh my god, what they do for the overall appearance of the inside of this camper are unbelievable. I'll put a picture in right here. So this right here is a picture of what the camper looks like closed up. Or this is a picture of what the camper looks like with the curtains closed and, you know, with the paint job and the accents of the blue cushions that are already in here and the gray floor. You've got the gray of the curtains. It just looks so good. Alright guys, so what we're going to do is we're going to take all of the decals and pinstriping off with this nifty rubber wheel that keeps one from fall off. So, see what I mean? That's really a goddamn drill. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and use this rubber wheel to take these decals off. To give you an idea how it works, start right here. And that way you don't have to mess with any chemicals or any kind of harsh abrasions. And you're going to lightly sand anyway before you paint to make paint stick right anyway, because you don't want to just spray it with it slick. You want to scuff up the surface. So same as you did with the wood paneling inside. You got to scuff it up. I use about a 50 to 80 grit paper, just lightly scuff it up. And put my base coat on, top coat, then sealer, and you're good to go. But yeah, look at that. That is amazing. Take that pinstripe right off. So I figure it'll probably take at least 2 rubber wheels to do both sides. But that's pretty impressive.
It is.
I anticipate some problems when I get down to more of the aluminum decals. Like this aluminum decal is kind of hard to come off, so more than likely I'm just going to have to sand that down with the orbital. But if I can get most of the pinstriping off, I can live with the rest, or I can work with the rest. I've decided we're going to replace all the lights with LEDs, so instead of trying to find matching parts, we're just gonna rip them all out and splice in new. I've got the pigtail for the front. Today John's going to sew this side of the canvas, and I was gonna work on the canoe while he did that, but I might work on taking off the pinstriping on the front today, because I didn't think it was gonna. I anticipated this to be as big of a nightmare as polishing the canoe. Because I tell you guys what, polishing that canoe, it's going to look gorgeous when it's done, but I'm never going to do it again. Never. This, though, yeah, I could do this. I mean, I'm using the cordless drill, so it's not even got that much power going to it. And it just zips at like, just zips it right off. Look at that. That's amazing.
I think Charles has got a new favorite tool, guys.
Well, I mean, it's a little annoying that it keeps falling off the damn drill, but overall, I mean, that's going to speed things up quite a bit, and yeah, I'm excited. Now, you do have to be careful because it can burn the paint. So if you're like using one of these to take pinstriping off like a classic car or something like that and you want to save the paint, be mindful of that. But I'm not so concerned about it burning the paint because I'm going to sand it and paint it anyway. So get the decals off, new lights on, tape it, sand it, paint it, and then for the most part, the rehab will be done. I'm going to paint the roof, but the roof's going to be white. We're gonna buy new wheels and paint the trailer frame black. She's done. That's it. Inside is all done. Well, we're gonna lay some contact paper, which John will show you later. But we're probably gonna pick different contact paper because the contact paper I bought is not wide enough. All right, so we'll check in with you guys when that's all done and see what that looks like. It keeps falling.
All right, so I think by the end of the day that thing's going to be super glued onto the drill bit.
I don't know if that'll help because there's so much torque, and I thought of that too.
I think it's going to happen.
I might try it.
Let's see. Okay, the contact paper turned out great. Okay, so the contact paper turned out great. Also put contact paper on the step down, which is not actually a step, that just hides the cables. Me and Charles like the contact paper so much that we have decided to do the table. So I'm about to do the contact paper on the table and the other step down, and I'm gonna do the contact paper on the countertop. And instead of trying to get around the sink, we're just gonna do around the stove. We're just gonna do around the sink and the other side of the stove, just this little part here. And then we're probably going to paint around the stove black. That'll be for cleaning purposes, and I think it'd just endure more from any kind of grease splatter or food droppings or anything like that. I had to make the pup more comfortable. AC, baby. Alright guys, let's get started. done, guys. I think I might end up topping it with some type of sealant, like a polyurethane or something, just to kind of put a protective barrier over it and make sure that the seams don't come up, get longer life out of it. But I think she looks pretty fantastic. She matches the nightstand and the step-ups.
Alright YouTube, I'm going to show you some stuff we just got in for the 1990 Jayco 806 Deluxe restore that we're doing. John's over here and he's going to show you what we got over there in a minute. First I'm going to show you what I got over here right now. First thing I got is a new rail for hanging the stove on the outside of the camper. Then, instead of trying to find replacement lens covers, it was cheaper for me to go ahead and just buy all new LEDs. So I bought all new lights to go on the outside of the camper, make her legal and road ready. Then,
another thing we got, guys, brand new tires. So, as you can see back here, the rims are pretty old and rusted, and the other tire actually doesn't match because the previous owner had to get the wrong size tire when they had a blowout. So we just got these new babies to put on her and make her street safe.
we'll probably keep the old tire for our spare for right now, and then in another month or so we might buy 2 more of these tires, so we'll have 2 spares, because I've heard of people having a double blowout on tow-behind trailers. I really don't want to deal with a double blowout, or a blowout and then a little while later the other one blows out. So we did take the tire mount off the back of the trailer, and I plan on filling that in with like Bondo, and we're not going to carry the travel trailer's spare on the outside. It'll most likely go in the inside compartment of my vehicle, because my car is set up to carry 2 full-size tires, one mounted on the back and one inside under the trunk. And I don't really keep anything under the trunk, and I'm pretty confident that we for sure could fit 1 whole travel trailer tire in there. God, try saying that 5 times fast. Travel trailer tire.
Travel trailer tire, travel trailer tire, travel trailer tire, travel trailer tire.
Wow. Okay then. Okay, so John's getting ready to, I think, put them on here in a minute. Lift the trailer, lift the stabilizers, which we actually were able to bust loose, and the stabilizers work, and it doesn't look like they're thoroughly rusted out, so they do have rust on them, but it's not that bad. So we're gonna probably, when we go to paint the trailer, paint those also. You can see I took some of the decals off, but I have to use, maybe now I'm gonna have to resort to chemical. I used the rubber wheel to get most of it off. I have another rubber wheel coming from for the other side of the camper. Inside looks all fabulous. You guys will have to watch the videos on how we did all that. Look at how pretty it is. Oh, so pretty. We're gonna do the stove too, but we're gonna have to take some of the hardware off, because the counters and the counters and facings look so good with the contact paper that we're gonna go ahead and go around the stove. And I mean, oop, sorry, John.
You're fine.
I mean,
Don't be sorry.
this trailer is 30 years old, man, and we are less than $1,500 into it with the purchase price of the trailer. I'm gonna paint the outside in a David Bowie theme, which I think will be pretty cool. But I think John's anxious to get started on the tires. John got the tires on, so now all we got to do is hook up the Harbor Freight lights until I can get around to wire in all the new LEDs, and she'll be ready to go. So hopefully we'll be able to take her out within the next 2 weeks. Though I'm probably going to wait until mid-September, end of September, to actually paint her. Part of the reason why I'm going to do that is because it's Missouri, and August and early September, you can have heat indexes upwards to 110, 112, and well into the 90s frequently. And working with enamel paint in that kind of heat, you can have it slide. And it's a nightmare, so it's best to wait till it's cooler to paint with enamel. The house is a little bit of a wreck right now, but I jacked my neck up again, guys, and I just, pain. I don't know what to do. I'm getting old, and I'm not liking that. But, got some more work done on the 1990 Jayco 806 Deluxe. Alright, so we got all the decals off the one side. Now the camper was over there where this table is. If you see this tree right here, there's a lot of dead branches and it's kind of hanging over, and it's like if there's a big windstorm, I'm afraid that's going to fall. And we've had a problem with falling trees lately. Our crazy ass neighbor who lives 2 houses over frickin' thought it was a bright idea to chainsaw down a 70-foot tree by himself and then wrap a train around it when he couldn't get it to fell, and yank on it and slam on it with his truck, and then try to saw on it some more. And they went to Home Depot because he broke the chain on his saw. While he was gone, this big tree fell back there, and it fell across his yard, across this driveway and 2 fences of the roofing company's driveway, and onto the top of our fence, and smashed onto those electrical wires up there, and sparks went everywhere. Thundercluck jumped so high, she jumped out of the coop, over the zucchini, and into the yard. Poor girl probably fired out an egg when she did it. Anyway, I digress. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to take all these off, and we're going to replace them with LEDs. Alright guys, we got the marker lights all the way around, the amber ones. I put this one on the other day. John's done most of them, mostly because my neck is all jacked up. I also busted in to the tail lights, and this is where it gets a little interesting. The left tail light is wired to the 1979 to 1991 wiring diagram. The right one, however, is wired to the 1992 to 1997 wiring diagram. And that is a fact because there's colored wires used that aren't even listed in the 1979 to 91 diagram. So, to further make things even more confusing, each one has 4 wires. The new taillights I bought only have 3, so this is going to be interesting. Hopefully we have a little trial by error and not trial by fire. We shall see. The inside is done, people. Look at that. We just need to add bedding, and she's good to go. It's gorgeous, isn't it? You would never guess this is a 30-year-old camper. We decided to go ahead and take the stove apart and put contact paper all the way around the stove because it just looks so good. Man, I tell you what, guys, contact paper has come a long way. I mean, that's fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. Got the new tires on, they look excellent. The next step will be to taper up and paint her. Alright guys, it's nighttime. As you know, we were trying to figure out the problems with our Jayco 806 Deluxe. The left brake light was wired to the 1979 wiring diagram, whereas the right tail light was wired to the 1992 wiring diagram, and it was insane. The way this whole trailer was rigged up was completely insane. I mean, the circuit is bizarre, but we got it working, and it's working correctly, so yay. We replaced the side markers with amber because I thought that would look nice. The back is all red. Amber on the sides. And amber in the front. Alright, so a quick demonstration here, guys. Left blinker, right blinker. Brake light. Excellent.
Alright, so I'm going to be making the last of our new curtains for the pop-up. Got the first 4 done for the windows, and now I'm making the curtains for the bed. So I'm going to be using these curtains pre-made that we found at Walmart, and I'm going to be cutting them down to size. I measured from the tracks that they slide into to where we want them to go, and that comes out to be 56 inches long. I will be using this handy cutter, razor blade, wheel to cut the curtains down. It works really well. Be using this marker to lightly mark my measurements. And then for the hems at the bottom, instead of sewing, I've been using this hem adhesive. It's an iron-on tape, and you just lay it down, fold your fabric up, and you iron it on. Makes it a lot easier. And I got this tiny little iron to iron it on. So let's get to it. Wanted to show you guys the curtains for privacy. So pulled together, they actually make your room a private bedroom. Can't see in. Look really good. Now you guys might notice a monstrosity in the back. That is another project. The camper came with that backboard. It just slides in, or you can slide it in and out. and that backboard had a hole cut in it to where you could put air conditioning. And I had to remeasure the square that was cut out and do a little bit more cutting, and I fit it in there and hooked up one of our spare air conditionings inside the camper, and she works. Now, of course, we're not going to keep the backboard looking like that. Alright guys, here's what she looks like all done. As you see, it's not an ugly board anymore. It is pretty fabric, and it matches the curtains and the rest of the color scheme of the camper. Be sure to check out our other videos where you can see what the air conditioner looked like on the original board before I did this. And you can also check out our videos on the whole painting and putting in a new floor and stripping the pinstripes off of the camper. We have everything recorded and going up showing this whole restore process.
And we decided to take the pop-up out for our first test run, and here we are. So now we're gonna go ahead and get her set up. Alright YouTube, well, we had our first night in the pop-up. We got her all hooked out. Where's the hawk? Are you pointing to the sky or a tree? I can't see him. Oh, I see him.
You see him?
Yeah. There's a hawk right up there in the trees. Might be an eagle, I'm not sure, I can't see that far away. Looks like he's getting ready to do some fishing. John's over there sitting at the lake. So let's talk about some of the things we found out about the camper. So our water valve is totally blown out and won't work. So I'm gonna have to replace all this. Luckily, we found out that, I looked online, it's only like an $8 part. It's a pretty nice campground. It's not crowded at all, I'm shocked. But then again, this is also a relatively premium campground. It's like $40 a night to camp here, but they've got like a lot of amenities for kids and stuff. There's a miniature golf course, there's a pool, there's a video game arcade, there's a community fire pit, there's shower houses, they have putt-putt courses, miniature golf, they have a bar, I'm not sure if they have a restaurant, and they have a little general store and a pool. So we got our level. We didn't really have any problems setting up. The most confusing thing for us though was deciding where to set up. Give you guys an idea of our view from inside. Excuse me, because the camper is a bit of a mess. We are camping. Even though she's not done, we decided to take her out because it's been a heck of a week, man. That's our view from inside the camper. There's our little blue chairs and my fishing rod. You can see John sitting down by the lake. And then our mess. There's John's spot. Right now we're just running water off our tank. So it works. Stove worked great. However, the one thing we did forget was we forgot our heater. And I have a little oil radiator heater that we were going to use that should heat this thing fine, no problem. Problem with that though is I didn't want to leave it in the camper because it is an oil radiated heater. If it gets below freezing, it could crack and explode and oil leak everywhere, and that's just a mess. So I think what I might do is pick up a small ceramic heater or infrared heater to leave in the camper in case we ever forget our buddy heater if we're off the grid, and just leave a little tiny ceramic heater in here. It was quite comfortable under the covers with no heat. It did get down to about 48 degrees last night. And as you guys can see, those murder hornets are here. Look at that guy. Yay. I don't know if y'all can see us, but we're just chilling by the fire. Say hi, YouTube.
Hi, YouTube. It's a sad day.
Yeah, we're packing up, getting ready to go. Alright, so some of the things that we learned on this trip that we forgot.
Can I say one? Remember to bring your heater.
Luckily, the owner of the campground brought us his heater to use, so we didn't have to go to Walmart to buy one. And it made all the world of difference on the second night. However, we did have some millennials come and set up camp next to us in a tent, and they brought their 4-year-old, well, 3.5-year-old, who was not the most well-behaved child. And the funny thing about it is like, they didn't, I don't think they had, I don't know.
Ever been camping, because every single piece of gear they had, including the tent, had to be opened from the box. Their barbecue grill had to be opened from the box. Their sleeping mattress had to be opened from the box. The tent had to be opened from the box. Like literally everything. They didn't have sleeping bags, and it was supposed to get down to like 42 to 46 degrees last night.
They brought a extension cord. They did not bring a 30 amp adapter to plug in their power cord, so they couldn't run their heater. We'd helped them out a lot over the weekend. You know, can I borrow your screwdriver? Can I borrow your hammer? Can I borrow your hatchet? Can I borrow this? Can I borrow that? And we were cordial. We let them use our power for a minute to charge their phones and such, but I told them I wasn't comfortable letting them use the heater, because they had brought an electric heater, I guess, and because I wasn't about to have this plugged in to the converter, into a tap line, into the extension cord, and be running 2 electric heaters on one little electric box. We did discover a couple more pinholes in the canvas that we need to patch. When I say pinholes, I mean they're not even noticeable by the eye, except for when the light is coming through the canvas. The spray sealer probably sealed them. Then
we got a couple other pop-ups with us on the camp.
Yep, there's a couple other pop-ups over there. A lot of people are already packing up and heading out. All right, guys, I'd say she was a successful first trip. We'll catch you guys later. Take care. Howdy YouTube, this is Charles.
And John.
We finally got a nice break in the weather where there hasn't been any rain, and we decided we're going to go ahead and start painting the camper. Now, spraying is not an option because everything's too close here, and I don't want to deal with overspray, so we are going to use rollers. And what a lot of people don't know is that you can get almost a spray quality finish using foam rollers and your basic heavy nap rollers as well. You just got to put your paint on thin and build it up in layers, and then hit it with a semi-gloss spray when you're done, because if a clear coat isn't really going to matter much if there's a little bit of overspray. Whereas you don't want your patio furniture, your house, and your new car having baby blue specks all over it. So in situations like this, it goes on with a roller, and we're gonna get cracking. And today we're actually going to go ahead and try to finish up some of the camper. So what we're going to do is we're going to paint the white top half of the lightning bolt. We're going to change out the hardware, and then We got this glitter sealer. Clear coat the camper with. Introduce you guys to some new friends that we have. So I'm going to be working on the sides while John's working on the back. We're going to get the white done today, and then hit her with some clear coat. Easy, baby, jumping spider.
Don't get stuck on it. Oh.
Boing, boing, boing. Oh, jumping spider. Boing, boing. 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 The glitter is not glitter. There's no glitter. What the no glitter? Rust-Oleum. Get with your shit. There she is, guys. Got the paint done. Now I just got to put on the black pinstriping. So we're gonna have a black pinstripe. And then the trailer frame, will be black in the bumper and the hitch. I added new latches. There's the other side. A few touch-ups that'll need to happen. Take a look inside real quick. Oh, I thought we flipped everything back. Well, as you can see, we put a new floor in, painted our counters. We made new curtains. And I think we got maybe about a year or two left in this canvas before we really probably have to replace the canvas. And then we'll order new canvas from Bear Creek. So if you guys are just checking us out for the first time, be sure and check out our other videos on this camper series, because we talk about how we got all the decals off, how we primed for painting, we put new wheels on, put a rubber roof on, new floor on the inside, prime and painting on the inside. We updated all the marker lights all the way around to LED. She's 30 years old, looking 30 years younger. Howdy YouTube, this is Charles.
And this is John.
And we are getting ready to go down to the lake property to do some swimming. We got all our beach shite all ready to go. Got some updates up on the camper. I put on these new black utility ports. John put on the new porch light. We got another utility hatch put on the other side. I've bookmarked a new city water hookup. So what we got left to do now is paint the trailer frame black, and then I'm gonna put a 1-inch black pinstripe following the lightning bolt. Then, as you can see, I left the stickers intentionally on the back here for a ghost to appear. John's gonna paint the inside of the bird blue, and then the around it blue, and then the darker part's gonna be black, and then we're gonna paint the Jayco black to kind of have that hand-painted pinstripe look. So let's boogie on down to the lake property. All right, YouTube, we are at the property in the woods. You can see there's a couple cabins going up over there on stilts. There's a boat. Some flowers and another lot over here.
Oh look, it's John.
There's John.
I'm excited.
All right, so let's take a look. So that's the edge of our property line right there. All right, so all right. In theory, we're going to be coming in here. We're going to be going around here. This here is going to be the camping pad.
This looks so much better. You can actually see the image now, or the vision.
Yeah. So the camper will park here. There's another little cabin back here. Wow, definitely different, isn't it?
It is. Like, it looks like it's actually being developed.
Yep.
Careful.
Yeah, it's kind of muddy.
It's quicksandy.
Well, that's why he couldn't put the rock down. All right.
Aside from not having the rock.
Yeah, apparently there's a rock shortage.
Go figure.
So then the idea is we'll be able to come around, go around this way, and come back out.
Back out. This will be gone.
Yeah.
Nice.
Easy spider. Hello.
He's
Meow.
huge.
Yeah, he's a big one. Yeah. He's like leveling this out pretty good.
He is.
If you guys are wondering who we're having doing our work, we got Dennis Gregory, concrete placement, shotcrete, wet dry, soil stabilization, excavation, water control, fireproofing, 636-222-7808.
And he's a super cool guy.
Yeah, he seems pretty cool. He does a lot of the work out here at Goose Creek. So if you need any excavating done in the St. Louis, French Village, St. Genevieve area, give him a holler. I'm sure he'll appreciate the business.
It's amazing what a little cutting in can do.
Yeah, I wonder where we're gonna put our fire pit.
Well, if the camper's gonna be, say, right here,
Yeah.
is the camper door gonna be facing that way and the fire pit there?
No, because this is how we're gonna come in and out.
The drive, yeah.
Unless he's thinking about putting the fire pit right there.
Oh, he's gonna do the fire pit?
He said he would do us a fire pit if we gathered up some other rocks.
Oh, nice.
Alright, we're gonna go swimming. And we are out at the property. Our landscaper came out here to do some more cutting in.
So as you can see, the property's starting to develop. We can actually get the vehicle in to the property now.
It is 4-wheel drive.
Don't you love John's 1980s get up? All right, so here we are. We have our 1980s banded socks, Adidas shoes, our Daisy Duke cutoffs, as well as a tank top that is, you know, kind of 80s colors. So John is rocking the 80s.
If y'all want to see how deep the cut-in is.
Yeah. Now, mind you, John's like 7 foot tall.
So that's probably like 5 feet.
Probably.
4.5, 5 feet. I couldn't have pictured what this looked like
Yeah.
before he did it.
And then we have this little center island that we're going to probably frame out with some of those boulders.
Turn into a garden.
And turn it into like a little garden with maybe a fountain or something in the center.
Put a little yoga mat down. Meditate.
And then this section over here, you can come in, and then right here where it cuts in, there's a flat spot right there. Theoretically, we could put another little RV right there. So you'll come in through here. We're gonna have a culvert, a 20-foot culvert. You can see their culvert. Come down the ditch. Culvert will go in. We'll come in. We'll be able to boogie around this corner here. Make this turn and then back the RV in. Probably about halfway. And then what we'll do is we'll turn her sideways. So then we have this nice level patio here. I think I said our water tank's gonna either go there or there.
I just realized the easier way to get the car out.
Just back it straight out.
Back up, boom, and then boom.
Probably.
It's all new.
Yeah.
She handles pretty good.
So our property goes, and John's gonna go our property goes to where those flags are, over to that big boulder over yonder. So here he goes. Actually, a little ways past the boulder. And then you follow it around. And then you can see maybe that little pink flag in the distance up yonder. That's our other corner. So we've got about a 1/4 acre right here. And then we have another 1/4 acre up on top of the hill overlooking the lake. This is the one we're developing first because if we end up putting a house down here, it'll be on this property or another cabin. Because as you can see, there's some big cabins going up over there. The little brown cabin over there. There's a little red cabin right over there. So, and there's some expensive RVs parked around here, and there's a neighborhood going up back yonder. And I figured if anywhere was to break ground, this would be the smartest place to break ground because of property value. Plus, we literally have electric directly across the street. So what we'll also probably do for fun is get an archery target and put it at the base of the hill right there. So then we can practice archery, and that's relatively safe because there's a good 10 feet of dirt wall to stop it. We'll have the boat, the lake, fishing, archery, camping, trees for hammocks. This is gonna blow our tiny cabin project out of the water. Next year we'll look at getting some kind of building in there. Or putting the electric in next. But I think we might go down to the beach here in a little bit and do some swimming. I don't know. Here we are at the new property.
You guys might notice it's slightly different than the cabin property. Tiny bit.
So we're gonna go ahead and get her set up. Alright guys, I don't know how well you're going to be able to see this at night. This is our setup. So we've got blue lights underneath the camper, and then party lights going from one tree to the camper, and then over here from a tree to tree. And then the umbrella has the little ring light on it. And as you can see, the camper's lit up. Right now the camper is off-grid. We're using a battery. The lake lot is coming along. We'll check in with you in the morning. Well, we're here. We got set up on our new property. A lot of you guys know we sold the tiny house, and we used that money to buy property here at the Goose Creek community, recreational community. And we developed one of our lots. I'll go ahead and give you the phone number for the guy who did our lot. He did a great job. And we also have the vintage camper out here. How about a quick tour?
Alright guys, so as some of you may have seen on Facebook, this is our log that says the Mooneyhams. Got a great deal on it. We just had to put a little bit of polyurethane on it, and it was good to go.
And then right now we just have our barbecue and our pit set up right here. And then we got two chairs over here. The water tank we still need to get filled.
We brought over part of our patio set from the house, so we just got our table and umbrella, 2 more chairs. We'll probably add 2 more for guests. And we've got a little light for nighttime ambiance.
This table normally is on the inside of the camper and also becomes the third bed between the 2 bunk seats. However, we have it out because the weather is gorgeous, and there's no rain in the forecast, so that way we can have more room inside. So let's go ahead and go inside and check it out.
Come on in.
So as you can see, we updated all the hardware. So we got new utility, new utility flaps, new LEDs, all the marker lights all the way around, and brake lights have been replaced LED. And we painted the inside, put a new floor in. As you can see, quite roomy. Icebox, stove, sink. Our freshwater tank is under there.
Right now we are running on the old-fashioned.
You gotta pump it.
Oh, when will the water come? I think it's coming.
But it works. So we have water. And we'll have electricity when we hook up our battery and inverter, or when we use our generator. John made the curtains. We primed and painted all the cabinetry. We resurfaced everything with industrial vinyl contact paper. Get a shot of it from back. And there she is, guys.
You guys tell him I'm ready for lunch.
Looks like we're ready for lunch.